That was lovely Vagabond. I'm now joined by Noel Clark. How are you, Betty? Nice
good,
to
man.
see
How
you,
you doing?
mate. Very well, thank you. It's nice differentiating famous people with talented famous people, and you definitely fall under the talented category of the old fame
good,
box.
good. I was about to walk out there. I thought you were going to...
I wasn't slagging you off. Is there any other areas where talent or passion lies with you apart from acting, directing, and writing?
I'm a bit of a... I'd like to think talented video gamer. Got to tell you. Yeah, I like a bit of the old, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, a bit of the old. I won't mention consoles, but a bit of that one and a bit of that one.
We're not plugging them after all.
No, exactly.
Here. Music, into music. What sort of music do you like?
I like kind of all music. I definitely go through phases. When like a film's gearing up, I'll listen to so much music because I'm looking for tracks and sort of styles and stuff like that, and it'll be everything from you know, the Wileys and the Bashies and the Dizzies and Tinchies, to like your Kate Nashes and Pixie Lots and everything in between.
Nice R&B, hip hop.
Everything in between, and then, but generally when it's just like my downtime, it's probably more hip hoppy stuff.
So like writing and producing and directing, do you get a lot of like chance to choose what the music is? Do you sort of say, I'm Noel Clark, ringing up, I want to use your track, please, and all the time I say yes?
Most of the time people say no, actually. But
really?
Yeah.
Why would you do so? Ask me, Noel, and I'll be happy to provide tracks.
I will, I may just do that.
You better do it now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, it can be quite expensive, you know. Sometimes you have to go through labels and all that, and, you know, sometimes the artist would be like, yeah, I'll do that, and, you know, furthermore, they would be like, oh, I'll come and do a track for you, or I'll appear on a track you've got, but then labels sometimes can put a stop to that, so it can be quite difficult. So on adulthood, we sourced a lot of our own music.
If you had to choose writing films, directing films, or acting in films, which one would you go for?
Acting is what I always wanted to do, so if I was forced to choose one, and it was guaranteed that this would provide the career and pay the mortgage and, you know, have my boys set in the future, then I would choose acting, but then closely followed by directing. Writing is the most solitary. When you're writing, although you're at your most creative, you can be alone, and when you're writing, you never know if what you've written is going to make it, whereas when you're directing, you're there. When you're acting, you're there.
Exactly. So for me, performing-wise, when I'm performing on stage, the energy is amazing. But when you're writing, it's a very different thing, I guess, isn't it? If I had to choose, I didn't know what to choose, to be honest. But you mentioned you had a son there.
I do,
on the family and whatnot. How would you find finding the time between family and acting?
You just do, man. I don't know. I think my day has about 34 hours instead of 24. But you just find them. I mean, you just have to find them, and you do. You know, I make time for the boy all the time. You know, and plus, if I'm writing, I can write at home. You know, in which case, you know, he's around, and I can stop and play games or whatever, and, you know, take him out and stuff.
You're working on a few other projects at the moment. You have been. Tell us about some of those. Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll. Is that one?
Yeah, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. Yes, Ian Jury film with Andy Serkis playing Ian Jury, doing a brilliant job. And I'm in there as a little cameo sort of thing, a couple of scenes as a studio engineer called Desmond, who doesn't get on with him very well. So we have a nice scene. I won't give it away too much, but we have a really good scene. And then got a big Roman soldier movie coming out called Centurion.
Wow. Any plans to hit Hollywood?
I've got agents and stuff over there, which is a sort of recent development. I never wanted to be one of those people that would go there and just kind of do the rounds when people didn't know who I was. So I've waited intentionally until I got in a position where people would knew who I was, and if it never happened, it wouldn't happen. And obviously with adulthood and the BAFTA and whatnot, it was good. I could go there and people weren't going, "Hey, no, how you doing?" It was more like, "Oh yeah, great. We've seen your movies. We know what you do."
You seem like a very humble man, but do you ever get tempted, right, in like conversation, if you like, someone say, "Oh, I saw a film the other day, had like BAFTA in it." Do you ever get tempted to be like, "BAFTA?" Funny you should mention that. Funny story, actually. Or do you just roll with it, head held high in your own?
No, I try not to mention it, and I'm pretty laid back about a lot of things, which an interview yesterday said could come across as arrogance, and it's my point. I don't care if it does come across that way. That's not me. I'm just kind of like, you know, the next day it's on the shelf. I get up, I change my boys' nappies, I take him to Sainsbury's. You know, it's done.
You know, it's there.
It's done.
Exactly.
It's not in my trolley in Sainsbury's as I'm walking through.
Hello, I'm Noel Clark, and I have a BAFTA.
Well, you don't even. You just.
If I got a BAFTA, I wouldn't take it to Sainsbury's. This wouldn't happen, really. Noel Clark, give me some.
Yeah, lovely to meet you,
mate. Thanks for coming on the show.
No problem.